Hi. So on Monday, I held our first tutoring club meeting. It went way better than I thought it would. It all ran super smoothly and everything went according to plan, which is pretty unheard of in a teaching setting, at least in my previous experience. So it was really, really awesome. My partner, Sage, is amazing. She is truly a gift to children, and I'm really glad that I um, chose someone from the community who was trusted and recommended by these parents so that the parents felt comfortable enough leaving their kids with us and they trusted Sage, and really she was the reason that I got some of these kids to come. So it was really cool finding a good partner. We had a total of 5 students, and they were all in grades 3 to 5. So while their academic levels weren't all the same, they were pretty close. And so it was really easy to divide them into 2 groups for us each to work with. And those were groups of 2 or 3 students, depending on who they were working with. And so it wasn't completely individualized tutoring, it was group tutoring, but I really think that that actually was more beneficial to the students as they got to collaborate a little bit with their peers and kind of work together. It lasted for an hour and a half, and we provided cookies and juice boxes. And the kids seemed to really enjoy it. We tried to keep it pretty fun and light for the first time, just kind of getting to know them, doing a little bit of work, but mostly just doing some icebreakers, and really building rapport with these kids, because that's the number one thing that is needed when we are doing things like this, trying to teach kids. It's important to have their trust. So we started with a fun icebreaker game where each student had a dice, and they went around to different students and rolled the dice, and then each number on the dice had a question that they had to answer. Some of my parents talked about their kids lacking confidence in their schoolwork and at school, and that's part of the reasons why they were struggling. So I thought that this icebreaker activity would give them the confidence of talking to someone else and putting themselves out there to answer questions and find common ground with other students. After that, we got started on the actual tutoring. We talked to them about their work, we worked together, we found new ways to approach problems. Initially, I was worried about not being able to provide enough individualized instruction in this group setting, and I was actually surprised to find that the flow of things went really well, and I was able to give each student a good amount of my time. So I was able to kind of instruct, and then like have one do their work independently while I instructed another student, and then I had them do some group work, and I had them come back, and it went so smoothly, and I don't think they could tell that I was super nervous. So that was definitely a plus. The only thing I would have done differently was probably to be more prepared about the work that these students were going to bring me. I made the mistake of not asking the parents outside of what deficits they were having. So I knew they were bringing me math, but I didn't know exactly what kind of math that would be. But now that I've met the students and seen kind of what I'm working with and what they're struggling with and what they're working on in class, I am better prepared to next week have more manipulatives and more materials and kind of more fun stuff for them to work with in order to understand their worksheets a little better. Because it seems like the curriculum is very manipulative based, but I don't have those manipulatives to work with. So it'll be nice to, now that I know what I'm working with, to change in the future and just have more manipulatives and have more like hands-on learning materials available for them. Later that evening, I was probably like the best part of my advocacy project. I received texts and emails from 3 parents thanking me like profusely for helping their students, and saying, a lot of them just said how hopeful they were about their child making progress. This really impacted me and was probably like the best part of the night for me, like I said, because it really showed me what a big difference I'm making in these kids' lives, just by advocating for their students and saying, hey, this is a problem and we need to fix it. just showing these families that they have support and they matter and that their kids can truly be successful and get the help they need is so important. And that's what advocacy is making sure that people know that they matter and they're being accounted for. And the other thing is that we did have to charge for our tutoring, especially because I do have a partner that I was working with, so most of the classes going to her and then going to our materials and costs. So we're not making a huge profit off of this, but being able to provide our cost is still really affordable compared to other tutoring centers in the area by about 50%, which is amazing because that means that people who can't afford to pay $30 to $40 an hour for tutoring are still getting an amazing experience and still getting to a chance to have their kids be successful. And that just means the world to me, and it's something that I really want to keep doing, even though I'm not making a huge profit off of it, even though it isn't like a second source of income for me. It is something that means a lot to me in my heart, and I'm really looking forward to continuing with this project.